evening and a warm welcome to yet another episode of Behind the Headlines. And this is your investigative current affairs show. Kimbo Nalwena, Retatamisana Moho, Riseka Ditavazo Amang, Wanali Mui, Wa Johannesburg, and Gauteng Kabupara. We are discussing a very informative issue today. We're looking at two informal traders. A lot of people have been trading for years before our democracy that we put in a pedestal and saying we're all enjoying it. But is this the democracy that we enjoy? Well, we've partnered with Corruption Watch to find out these issues. What is really happening in our streets? Are informal traders being treated fairly? Well, to our shocking surprise, this is not what is happening in our streets. This first report is brought to you by Corruption Watch, and this is proven testament of what is happening to informal traders.
Well, I think we've reached crisis point long ago. We are the victims of daily corruption. Our stock is plundered and looted. There's no accountability. We no longer go to the JMPD Internal Affairs Unit to complain because these complaints are never dealt with.
The JMPD, they came to me. At that time I was coming from the market. Immediately when I offload my stock, when I just put my stock here in the pavement, they just came and grabbed my stock and put it in their own truck. And then from there they left me with a ticket of 500 rand. But because my stock it were worthing more than that 500 rand, I decided to go and pay that 500 rand. I went to JMPD, I paid that 500 rand. Only to find out that when I finished paying that 500 rand, when I go to collect my stock, I found that my stock was missing. I didn't get anything. When I go there to complain, I open a case, but it never continue. They just drop the case. I open it twice, but it never goes on. It never go on.
What we're seeing is people trying to make a living by selling things on the streets are being harassed, and while they may not be complying with the bylaws, we find that the JMPD go beyond their mandates and insult or harass, and at times are even violent and aggressive with them.
You just saw an insight that was compiled by Corruption Watch, really showing how people are treated, especially the informal traders, by the Johannesburg Metro Police Department. We're now at the City of Johannesburg CBD to speak to Edmund Elias, who's the spokesperson of the South African National Trade, Retail and Alliance, to just find out what exactly is going on between the informal traders and also the Johannesburg Metro Police Department. The bylaws strictly say that they can't excel in the streets. What exactly is going on? We just want to find out now. Edmund, thank you very much for your time. What exactly is the problem?
Well, I think the problem is the Johannesburg City Council informal trading policy. It doesn't recognize the fact that there is massive urbanization taking place. Thousands of people are coming to the city each year in need of economic opportunity, both from cross-border and our rural areas. And the single most important point of entry into the economy, in fact the only point of entry into the economy for many of these people, is street trading. And this is not recognized by the authorities. They're in fact trying to shrink a growing entity.
As somebody who sells here on a daily basis, what is the conditions in terms when the Johannesburg Metro Police Department comes here?
Well, we here, where we are standing right now, are trading in a managed zone. It's managed by the corporate sector. They're managing some 2,000 traders on the streets. There is no obstruction, no infringement of bylaws, and no Metro Police. Now, our question is, why can't the City of Johannesburg do what the corporates are doing?
As Sancho, what exactly are you doing? What steps are you taking to ensure that the Johannesburg Metro Police is aware of such?
Well, at the moment, we've given up with the Johannesburg Metro Police. The stock that is being confiscated on a daily basis is unaccounted for usually. So we've taken the decision of going to the public protector. We were there, in fact, as yesterday. And the Johannesburg Metro Police are now being closely monitored because we firmly believe that a criminal syndicate within the Johannesburg Metro Police is operating freely and unchecked. Stock is taken, it's not accounted for. We are urging for management, and they continue with this confiscation, which is counterproductive because 10 minutes after the stock is taken, people are back on the streets doing exactly what they did 10 minutes prior. So we are now engaging with the public protector in one instance. We're also at a point of taking the City of Johannesburg to the High Court. I think that process is no more than a week away.
Do you think that the bylaws are practical, looking at the economic state of our country, where 25% of the people are unemployed, and this is the only source of income that they could generate?
No, the bylaws are not appropriate. We as a sector have tried to make input on these bylaws and we've been totally ignored. These bylaws are the product of advocacy by the corporate sector primarily, by ratepayers, and not by us at all. We believe that the bylaws are the product of bad policy. There are 60 prohibited areas in the City of Johannesburg where people are not allowed to trade altogether. I mentioned Bromfontein, Yeovil, Norwood, Hillbrow, where street trading is totally prohibited. And that is both unconstitutional and a violation of the Businesses Act of 1991, which says that before you prohibit an area, you need to try management in the area. The city have not complied with that. I think to really put it in a nutshell, the sector is growing as the city tries to shrink it. It's growing through necessity.
One of the things that they're complaining about is the fact that, when people sell here, they leave their goods laying around, it becomes dirty, so it doesn't look really good for the city.
In this area where there's management, we don't have any of that. You can see and film this for yourselves. That's because there's a simple monitoring system, and that's all we need. We don't need Metro Police going around the streets stealing our people's stock. We need monitoring. If we take a block of flats, for example, the block of flats has a caretaker, and the caretaker keeps things in order. The same applies to these streets here. As I said earlier, several thousand people are being managed here successfully without Metro Police. If you look around, you'll see a person with a yellow cap, and that's all we need. We need a monitor. And then you have no obstruction, no health hazards, and no safety problems.
With this initiative that Santra is embarking on, do you think would finally find a solution for all these problems?
I think we occupy the moral high ground. It is fundamentally wrong for a local authority to go around taking poor people's possessions on a daily basis under the pretext of it being law enforcement. It's not law enforcement, it's theft with the aid of the law. And we believe that eventually we will get through and end this process completely. We are calling for a complete end to confiscation of stock, because confiscation of stock as a method of law enforcement is an open door for theft and corruption.
What's the way forward from now that you're taking it to public protect and now you're planning to go to the High Court?
Well, we're adopting a multi-pronged attack. We haven't stopped trying to negotiate with the city. That is number one. Number two, the public protector. Number three, court action. There are massive issues in the Lenasia area in particular. In one instance, a trader has had his stock taken 100 times, and there doesn't appear to be a valid reason for that other than victimization. So I think we're adopting a multi-pronged attack. And in fact, what is also happening is that there is a civil society alliance forming to assist. ESET is one of the partners, COSATU is another, the Kanya NGO is a third one, and as this civil society alliance grows, and another key player in this is Wits University Architecture and Planning Department. So we're coming with an advocacy group that is in the coming weeks hoping to make alternative proposals to the City of Johannesburg, because up to now city policy has been totally driven by ratepayers. No structured input has been coming from the informal sector, and that's what's necessary, because at the moment the relationship between the City of Johannesburg and poor people has degenerated into Metro Police, rubber bullets and red ants, and that needs to change. We need processes of real engagement.
Edmund, thank you very much for your time.
I hope it helps you. Thank you very much for your interest.
lebitso la ka ke nna Jeffrey Namakona temlo rekisa mona ka 1992 kana go ela government ya Maburu kana go ela ha rekisa mona bana ba tla fela pavement ha no re ile 4 meters from the wall which means pavement ya dimelo ro batho ba ka rekisa go yona as long as you are away from 5 meters away from the robot. And then stand how when only 3 meters. And I go on the stores, this one, when I have a pen, I go to market more fast. And when I register freely, I was not a dairy patala. All I know, Motorbong divided into two. Come on, Kirk Street to Yagohodim. The manager JTA. Come on from GP Street to Utlagam. The manager City of Johannesburg. What city can one about 100 rand every month? And Hulu Honano lick cleaning Isalio on a lipi. And then Hulu Honano after about it. Not about Valoriging. Wahon whatever can Varigis Valor Bona, they are not registered. And then Rezamo reported the province on a province instead of Bata was a problem. What office Laruna, including the JMPD. Why who won about Lanka after Kupachelete or Valakon protect happen. And JMPD height had the Urunamona. Itamona itoring Stowasarum. After about how about Lamana Watan Stowasarum? How you call JMPD Lobadala? You're not ticket here, Fania Bon. How would like was Tawasa or Stone? Tosa slightly on Nagua, Basinka when what's on a meeting Yabo. Resume Basinga was my voice registers Tosa. One day, like a meeting, Wabarikis. Give it to Magate, give us a fellow West Osaka or Namo. Have a fellow West Osaka. Hakatana fella within 30 minutes. Haguamana, Kiro Osaka was thinking of let's let it happen and it's a matter about that. It's a matter about that to get you. Mara Kamuramo Hagula, Wakamuno Osaka, I see.
Well, it seems as if not everybody is enjoying the fruits of the democracy. Human rights are being violated. Is this the democracy, as I said, that we fought for when women and men who are trying to make ends meet can't and are being charged exorbitant amount of money? After the ad break, we asked in the Johannesburg Metro Police Department the practicality of the bylaws. Is this practical? Is this what people should live under? Well, for now, let's go for a quick ad break.